everyone. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. This is Shell Point Today for Tuesday, March 31st. On today's show, we'll get a health tip from Heather Battey and Melanie Broad and a tax tip from Legacy Foundation. And we'll show some scenes from last week's Shell Point Singers Spring Concert.
But first, don't forget that tomorrow is the deadline for signing up to be in this year's variety show. The theme is Summertime Memories, and it's sure to be a delightful trip down memory lane. Acts are encouraged to sign up as a group or an individual to sing a song, read a poem, act out a skit, or any other theatrical idea that reminds you of the hazy, lazy days of summer. Skits are limited to 4 minutes of stage fame each. To sign up, by tomorrow, call Caitlin Van Scoy at 454-2057.
The Garden Club will have its final meeting of the season tomorrow. Special guests will bring many live blooms to display and discuss. It will be an informative and enjoyable time, so bring your green thumb to the Oak Room at the Woodlands at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Monday will be the opportunity to ring in the spring by listening to the beautiful sounds of the tone chimes, led by resident Jane Haynes of Lakewood. A creative mix of songs is lined up for this concert at the Social Center Monday afternoon at 3:15 on the island.
Now that springtime is here, many are taking advantage of the opportunity to get outdoors and get moving. No matter what age you are or physical condition, everyone can benefit from some simple exercises to help keep your body in shape and those muscles from getting stiff and sore. Heather Battey and Melanie Broad are ready to give you some helpful tips to keep you fit.
Hi, I'm Heather Battey.
And I'm Melanie Broad.
And we're here with today's Fit Tip.
Today we're just going to use a ball and we're going to use a little bit of teamwork. If you don't have a ball at home, you can use a grapefruit, an orange, or a bean bag. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to squat and start to pass this ball back and forth. What muscles we working, Heather?
We're working our quads, our hamstrings, our booties.
Our core is tight.
Always keep your core engaged all the time and try not to lean too forward.
It's always best to, when you're doing this one, to pretend that your back is against the wall so you're not hunching or leaning forward.
Good. Good tip.
Good.
And that's today's Fit Tip.
See you next time.
Last week was the Shell Point Singers Spring Concert at the Village Church. More than 140 voices united in this collaborative concert with the Bonita Bay Singers. It was a fantastic event. Well, if you were not fortunate enough to attend the musical extravaganza, have no fear. We were able to get all 140 voices back together here in the studio for you today. Well, not really. We're going to replay a song from last Tuesday's concert for you instead. If you would like to enjoy more of the Shell Point Singers Spring Concert, you can get your own copy on DVD. Just contact the Shell Point Television Department.
The deadline for mailing your federal return is just days away, but don't get excited. Julie Boyd from the Legacy Foundation is on hand with some tips to help you make the tax deadline in time to spare.
Hi, I'm Julie Boyd with the Legacy Foundation, and tax season is here. April 15th is quickly approaching, and that means it's time to file your federal income tax return. Collecting documents and filling out forms can be very stressful, so here are a few steps that you can take before filing your taxes that will help make the process easier. First, designate a specific folder to put all of your W-2 and 1099 forms. As documents arrive in the mail, you can just put them in your folder. Second, think about any changes that may have happened in your filing status this past year. Did you get married or lose a spouse? Both of those things will affect your taxes. Third, figure out how you are going to prepare your taxes. Are you going to use a do-it-yourself software program like TurboTax, or are you going to use a CPA? To assist you in selecting an appropriate accountant or CPA, the IRS offers several guidelines to help you in the process. Most accountants will offer a flat or an hourly fee. If they use a fee that is a percentage of the refund that you are receiving, they're more likely to use aggressive or improper tax strategies. Accountants who file more than 10 returns are required to file them electronically. This is actually the safest and the most accurate filing method. Be sure to provide all of your records for your income, medical deductions, and tax credits for your CPA. They should not claim deductions or tax credits without appropriate records from you. Also, make sure you have looked at your return and have signed it on the appropriate line, and never sign a blank tax form for your accountant. Your CPA must sign and include their personal tax identification number on the return, and they must give you a copy of it. If you have any complaints or concerns about your accountant, the IRS does have a form that you can fill out online at irs.gov. Lastly, be ready to file for an extension if necessary. Sometimes taxes are way more complex than expected. If you do file for an extension, then your taxes are not due until October 15th. Well, I hope that you have found these tax tips helpful, and if you need assistance in finding a qualified CPA, contact the Legacy Foundation at 466-8484.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and this is Caitlin Van Scoy. We're going to go over today's activities with you. We're going to start out to mention that Shell Point Life magazine is being delivered today, so make sure you grab it out of your box, look for some activities that you're interested in, and sign up as soon as you can. At 7:15 this morning, we have a Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That's in the Health Club on the island. Pickleball will be at the pickleball court at 8 o'clock. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the round robin doubles tennis down at the Woodlands tennis courts. The stamp ministry will be down in the tunnel in the stamp room at 8:15. And at 8:30, the Ladies Golf Association will be down at the Shell Point Golf Club. 9 o'clock is the time for bocce. That's down at the Woodlands Bocce Court. Open painting will be in the art studio down in the tunnel at 9:15. At 9:30, we have a match play mixed doubles tennis down at the Woodlands tennis courts. And our Susie Q boat heads to Woody's Waterfront Restaurant on Pine Island at 10 o'clock. You do need to sign up for those trips. From 10 to 12, the photo gallery and studio is open for viewing. And at 10:15, Through the Bible study group will be in the Osprey Room on the island. At 11:45, we have a Life Quest Living Healthy class. That's in the Osprey Room with Michelle Smith. That concludes the morning. Here's Caitlin for your afternoon activities.
Thank you, Bev. At 12:30, we have mixed progressive bridge in the game room of the Woodlands. At 1:15, we have the Knitters group gathering in the Osprey room. Shuffleboard is being played at 1:15 at the shuffleboard courts. And also at 1:15, we have the Rollicking Recorderists meeting down in the Tarpon room. We have the Health Connections class at 1:30, Aqua Pilates Stretch in the Life Quest Aquatic Center. The Stamp Ministry will be in the Sable Room of the Woodlands at 1:30. And from 2 to 4 today, the Photo Gallery and Studio will be open for viewing. 2:45, we have the Seder Experience at the Village Church. And at 3:15, the Celebration Ringers Rehearsal will gather in the Village Church in the choir room. 4:15, we have another Health Connections class, Tai Chi Cha, that's in the Health Club, and it's currently full. Our last activity of the day will be at 7:15. We have the Photo Show Opening Gala. That'll be in the Resident Activity Center. Well, we're so glad that you joined us today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Tuesday. At 9 o'clock, Advanced Russian Zastovo Folk Art continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 10 o'clock, Forgotten World of the Americas will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands, and you can sign up right at the door. At 10:15, Dictation on Apple devices continues in the Manatee Room on the island, and at 1 o'clock, Printing from your Apple iPad tablet will be in the Oak Room of the Woodlands. Today finishes the spring semester of the Academy of Lifelong Learning. I'd like to thank every resident instructor and every resident who participated in lifelong learning. Please watch for your next brochure to arrive in your Shell Point mailbox and on the Shell Point website on Wednesday, April 15th. Registration begins the very next day at either service desk and online. The summer semester begins on May 4th, 2015. I look forward to seeing you then.
Menus for Tuesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is spaghetti and turkey meatballs with garlic bread. The dinner special is Build Your Own Stir Fry for $13.95, and the soup of the day is lima bean. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a grilled meatloaf sandwich on rye with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is pot roast with mashed potatoes and steamed carrots for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are Florida Grouper for $20.95 or grilled sirloin for $16.95. Menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, an assistant pastor. As we grow older and lose our youthful luster, it's good to remember, as the Bible teaches, that while man looks at the outward appearance, God sees our hearts, and He can make our lives beautiful and useful for the blessing of others. An old musical instrument may look dusty and out of tune, but in the right hands it can still play magnificent music. In the same way, our God can make something beautiful and useful out of our lives. You may remember the song made famous by the Gaither Trio, "He Made Something Beautiful of My Life." This thought first impacted me when I heard it as a child in Sunday school, thanks to a poem written in 1921 by Myra Brooks Welch. Myra, who was handicapped, once heard a speaker address a group of students on the power of God to touch people's lives. She was so impacted that she went home and wrote a poem, finishing it in just 30 minutes. Let me recite it for you now, in the hopes it will encourage you today. The touch of the Master's hand. 'Twas battered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it scarcely worth his while to waste much time on the old violin, but he held it up with a smile. "What am I bidding, good folks?" he cried. "Who'll start the bidding for me? $1, $1. Now who'll make it $2? $2. Who'll make it $3? $3 once, $3 twice, going for $3, but no." From the room far back, a gray-haired man came forward and picked up the bow. Then, wiping the dust from the old violin and tightening up the strings, He played a melody pure and sweet as an angel sings. The music ceased, and the auctioneer, with a voice that was quiet and low, said, "What am I bidding for the old violin?" And he held it up with the bow. $1,000, and who'll make it 2? 2,000, and who'll make it 3? 3,000 once, 3,000 twice, and going and gone, said he. The people cheered, but some of them cried, "We do not quite understand what changed its worth." The man replied, "The touch of the master's hand." And many a man with life out of tune, and battered and torn with sin, is auctioned cheap to a thoughtless crowd, much like the old violin. A mess of pottage, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He's going once, and going twice. He's going, and almost gone, but the master comes, and the foolish crowd never can quite understand the worth of a soul and the change that's wrought by the touch of the master's hand. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us today. Tune in tomorrow for something a little different. I'm not really sure exactly what, but I'm sure it will be informative with all the Shell Point TV pizzazz you're accustomed to. So until tomorrow, this is Shell Point Today for Tuesday, March 31st. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.